Well, hello everyone. Amsoil Adam here again. In this episode, we're going to talk about trucking. If you watched the introduction video, you heard me mention that my son wanted to start a trucking business, and I thought it was a good idea. So we decided I'm going to help him out with that. It'll basically be his company when it's all said and done, but I'll be a part owner in it. I'm all for him being self-employed, running a business. I love the entrepreneurship of it. The question is getting started. So what we decided to do was we both went and got our CDLs, but neither one of us have any real experience. Now, obviously, I drive the big truck around for the rallies, but technically that's registered as an RV, and it does not count as commercial driving time. So I had some friends that were driving for North American van lines, the furniture movers. They pack people's house up, move it to another state, unpack it, and got to talking with them and got talking about money, and it looked like it was a good opportunity. And it's one of those things that generally you can't just start out in. I mean, I know some people have, um, but they want some experience there. So because I was friends with this couple that owned their own truck and were contracted to an agent for North American Van Lines, I got hired on with that company and I drove with them for a couple of weeks and I kind of started to learn the industry a little bit. And North Americans' rules are I have to have 5,000 miles logged with one of their already certified safety drivers before they'll allow me to drive a truck on my own without a co driver. So we started that. And in that week and a half or so, the trips that we did, I got about 1,300 miles in. When we finished that particular tour, they went home for a little bit. I went home for a little bit because I had some personal stuff to take care of. And then when I was all done, I called them back up to say, hey, let's get back out there. Let's get some more work done. And in that time period, they had severed their ties with North American. So this left me without anyone to finish my training. And it's taken a while, but I finally found someone who was willing to let me into their truck with them, which is awkward because, I'm meeting a guy that I'd never met before and I literally have to live in the truck with him. So it's not easy for him. It's not easy for me, but I finally found someone who is willing to make that happen. They're based out of Atlanta, Georgia, which is only about an hour and a half south of where we live. So over the weekend after Thanksgiving, he called me up and said, "Hey, I'm ready. Let's do this." It was a little bit last minute, so that's what we're doing. That's why I'm sitting in the Excursion right now at a truck stop. It's the Petro off of exit 12, off of Interstate 285, just on the west side of Atlanta. At 6 a.m., I have to meet him at the truck over at the moving company, and I'm going to get in with him, and we're going to start this thing again. So the plan is I'm going to finish my training with him, going to learn all the paperwork, learn how to run all the business properly, and of course, get the driving part in, which I'm not real concerned with that. I mean, I've got plenty of miles under my belt. It's just logged non-commercial, as I said. And granted, the articulation of the fifth wheel truck is completely different than what I drive, because my truck is 48 feet long and then my trailer is 35 feet long, where a commercial truck, you've got 48 or 53-foot trailers and much shorter trucks, or tractors as they call them. So I know that backing it in, the maneuvering's a little bit different. Going down the highway, it's relatively the same. So anyway, the plan is I'm going to finish this qualification miles, learn the business, and then my son should then be able to climb into a truck with me, and I can qualify him on his training miles. And at that point, either one of us or both of us can drive the truck at any point in time that we want to. We may stay on with this guy for a little while and drive his truck, especially through the winter. I don't know that us going out spending the money on a truck at this time of year is necessarily the wisest decision. It may work out, it may not. But from what I understand, the moving industry does slow down in the winter, and then come springtime, it'll start to pick up again. So both of us could make halfway decent money working for this gentleman. The salaries are decent, not as good as owning your own truck, obviously, but there's also a lot less involved as far as my upfront cost. Now, we have money put away for a truck. We're just waiting until we know it's the right time to do it. And because we're both relatively inexperienced drivers, I didn't want to just jump in right off the bat, blow a bunch of money, and then go out and screw something up. I want to try to do this smart. I want to try to do it with either zero or very, very minimal debt. Depends on what truck we find. I don't mind financing a little bit, but we're definitely not going out and buying a brand new $100,000 or $200,000 truck. A couple of trucks we've been looking at are that $15,000 to $25,000 range. So a couple others around the $40,000 range. Can't buy one of those outright, otherwise it'll just leave us strapped, and I think that's a recipe for disaster without any leftover savings. Just because, bad luck happens sometimes, and I don't want to go spend $40,000 on a truck and have every dollar I've got tied up into it, and then the motor blow up and it takes $15,000 to rebuild an engine, sometimes more. So we're thinking more of that $10,000 or $15,000 truck that keeps us a buffer in case something happens. So I want to take you guys along on this trip. I know there's other people out there that are thinking about starting trucking businesses. Hopefully, they can learn something here as I learn it. Full disclosure, we're not going to try to hide anything. If I screw something up, I'm going to show it. If I do something right, I'm going to show it. Going to take it step by step. Now, this gentleman that I'm going to drive with, I'm not even going to mention his name just yet, only because I haven't talked to him about YouTube. I don't know whether he's okay with me like vlogging or recording any of this stuff. I'm hoping he will be. But with that said, we got to be very careful too. I don't want to put any of the customers' information out there. I am going to be in people's homes, packing up their personal items, and we probably not a good idea to divulge any of that. So we'll have to be, a little bit stealthy about the way we record, not to give out any information that the general public doesn't need to know. But I'm excited about this. It's kind of that first step into moving forward, and I hope it works out well. And I hope you guys enjoy the journey. Let's see how it goes. So anyway, if any of that sounds interesting to you, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, comment if necessary, and share with your friends. I really want to kind of make this go big. I want people to be able to see it, and hopefully something can learn from it. So thanks again for watching, and until next time, keep those engines running.